Earlier we defined the Pythagorean identities based on the equation of the unit circle. A lot of times when you're actually working with these identities, using them to solve an equation or to simplify an expression, you use them with the terms switched around. So for example, the main Pythagorean identity, cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1, a lot of times you might use that solved either for cosine squared or for sine squared. So for example, if cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1, that means that cosine squared is equal to 1 minus sine squared. We just subtracted the sine squared from both sides. You also could solve that for sine squared instead. So I could rewrite this as sine squared is equal to 1 minus cosine squared. So if you were solving an equation and you wanted it all in terms of cosine or all in terms of sine, that could come in handy. Similarly, with these other versions of the Pythagorean identities, you can rewrite cotangent squared plus 1 equals cosecant squared. You could write that all in terms of cotangent. So I could subtract the 1 from both sides, and then that would give me cotangent squared is equal to cosecant squared minus 1. Or I could take 1 plus tangent squared is equal to secant squared, and I could rewrite that as tangent squared is equal to secant squared minus 1. So just be aware that simple algebra can turn an identity into a new identity, and that's often what you're doing when you're working with identities.